Choosing a new association management system, or AMS, is a massive decision for any association. I mean, it touches everything you do, from how you engage your members to how you bring in revenue. So today, we're going to do a balanced, consultant-style review of a new player on the scene, Cannolai AMS. Let's dig in.
Hi there, I'm your host, and I'm a digital marketing associate here at SmartThoughts. We're a software advisement firm that works exclusively with associations and nonprofits, really just helping organizations like yours make smarter technology choices.
So, here's what we're going to cover. We'll start with the basics. What is Cannolai AMS? Then we'll get into its core strengths, and just as important, its limitations, and the trade-offs you need to think about. After that, we'll arm you with some key questions for your team, and finally, we'll talk about making the right choice.
All right, let's jump right into Section 1. First things first, what exactly is Cannolai AMS, and where does it even fit in the market?
Okay, so at its core, Cannolai is a modern, true SaaS, or Software as a Service platform. It's designed to be that central hub for all your key operations. Think membership, events, certifications, and reporting. The big thing to note here, it's brand new, just launched in late 2024.
Now, you might hear brand new and get a little nervous, but what's really interesting here is the team behind the tech. Cannolai actually came out of a merger with JL Systems, a company that's been in the AMS game since 1982. So you've got this fascinating blend of over 40 years of deep association experience, led by industry vets like David DiLorenzo, paired with a totally modern tech platform. It's not your typical startup story.
So who is this built for? Well, Cannolai is really aimed at what we call Tier 2 and Tier 3 associations. In plain English, that's your small to mid-market organizations. A good rule of thumb is if your operating budget is somewhere in that $2.5 to $10 million range, you're in their sweet spot. It's a quick way to know if you're even in the right ballpark.
Okay, so now we know what it is and who it's for, let's get into the fun stuff. In Section 2, what does Cannolai do really well? Where does it actually shine?
This quote from them really says it all. You know how so many older systems feel like they want to control everything? They're built around accounting, and your marketing team just has to make it work. Well, Cannolai completely flips that idea on its head. It has a marketing-first philosophy, which means it's built to play nicely with the tools you already use, not force you to ditch them. It's a pretty big shift.
So here are 4 things that really make it stand out. First, it's native to HubSpot, which is a game changer for marketing. But it works great as a standalone system too. Second is the no-code setup. This means your own staff, not expensive developers, can change things like pricing rules and workflows. That's huge for staying agile. Third, it brings all your data together in one place, so no more silos. And finally, the pricing. It's a site license, so you pay one flat fee for unlimited users. That makes budgeting way more predictable as your team grows.
But of course, no platform is perfect for everyone. So for Section 3, we have to look at the other side of the coin. What are the limitations, and maybe more importantly, what are the strategic trade-offs you're making if you choose Cannolai? And this really gets to the heart of the main trade-off. On one hand, you get a modern, flexible platform built for the way we work today. But on the other hand, it's new code. So even though it's backed by that deep experience from JL Systems, the product itself doesn't have a long track record. You're not going to find years of user reviews on G2 or Capterra. You're an early adopter, and that comes with some built-in risk.
Now, I want to be really clear here. These are not fatal flaws. They're just trade-offs. Every choice involves a trade-off, and your job is to figure out if these specific ones align with your organization's needs and, frankly, your team's appetite for risk.
Which brings us perfectly into our 4th section. To help you weigh those trade-offs, let's turn the focus inward. Here are some of the critical questions you need to be asking your own team.
First up, that HubSpot integration. You really need to be honest with yourselves. Is this a nice-to-have feature, or is this a truly mission-critical tool that could completely change how you do marketing and member engagement?
Next, let's have some real talk about risk. Is your association's culture okay with being an early adopter? Do you have the kind of team that can roll with the punches and manage the unknowns that just come with any new piece of tech?
And finally, let's talk about the money. That site license model is great for predictability, but does it fit your budget and your growth plans better than a classic per-user model, which might start cheaper but get more expensive over time? Think about where you'll be in 3 to 5 years.
So once you've wrestled with those questions, we get to our final section. How do you take all this information and actually make a smart, informed decision?
If there's one thing you take away today, please let it be this.
There is no such thing as the best AMS. The right fit for you is completely dependent on your own unique situation, your structure, your goals, your budget. Cannolai could be an absolute home run for one association and a total miss for another.
And look, I have to share this. I've been doing this for over 2 decades, and I've seen it happen time and time again. An association gets wowed by a demo, they sign on the dotted line, and a year later they're full of regret because they overlooked a critical trade-off. This is a huge decision, and it deserves careful, expert guidance. So what's the next step? If you're watching this and feeling a mix of excitement about the possibilities and maybe a little nervous about the trade-offs, well, that's a great place to be. It means you're thinking critically. To get some clarity, head over to smartthoughts.net for some great free resources. Or, even better, book a free 20-minute call with us. You can even call us directly at 817-523-9801. We can help you cut through the noise and figure out if Cannolai is truly the right fit for your future. Thanks for tuning in.